Prana Pratishtha is happening inside the temple. Now a temple is back, the Saketa is completely lightened with lamps, we are welcoming Rama. What is that now Indians or Sanatanis should own and make them strong?
Lord Rama is getting installed in a temple
Yes,
which will last supposed to last a millennium.
yes,
Now is the time we have to install Rama within our heart and homes.
super.
Because once you dethrone him from here, then the Rama gets dethroned there also.
Hi, welcome to KCTalks. We all know that tomorrow is a big historic moment, the inauguration of Sri Ramachandra temple in Ayodhya Dham. It took Hindus such a long time, such a waiting time, not 1 year, not 10 years, not a decade. 5 centuries, after 500 years, we are again seeing Lord Rama as a personification, Murti, inside a magnificent temple. Once there was a big temple in Saketa, which is the original Dham of Lord, which is now called as Ayodhya. It took so much of struggle for Hindus, but then now today we are meeting Dr. Sahadev Dasa, the monk of ISKCON, to understand what it takes to own Rama and how do we celebrate this event in much grandeur. Hare Krishna Swamiji.
Hare Krishna.
So all because of sadhana of you great saints and scholars and monks. So it's a historic event. After 500 years we are seeing it. So how do you feel, Swamiji?
Yeah, this is I would say, a turning point.
Yes.
That there is Rama consciousness
Great.
is pervading the nation's psyche today. So definitely a historic moment and a big milestone. India has been the land of spirituality.
Yes.
India is a place where God is within everybody's reach. It's basically so after 5 centuries at least, the Ram is is entering into people's lives. It's heartening to see that.
Super.
Yes, no doubt.
So great
It's
celebration.
palpable. Everybody can feel in the air. It's in the air.
There's a vibration in the air.
Yes.
There's excitement in the air.
Yes, exactly.
So a lot of struggle, but at least under like promised, BJP has definitely owned this. It has been their main manifesto since they've entered politics, and they finally achieved it. So personally, how did you celebrate this?
Every day is a celebration. I would say that this is anything where dharma prevails, where dharmic consciousness grows, when dharma content in people's life will grow. That is a cause to celebrate. That is a reason to become happy. For us, we would be happy if people are happier. Para sukhe sukhi, para dukhe dukhi.
Oh, very nice.
So we understand that people can only be happy if their sinful activities come down and their attachment to God grows. That's the only way to make people happy, not by any other means. So anything that transpires this equation makes us happier.
Superb. You said a very important point, paradukhe dukhi and parasukhe sukhi. That's the ideal principle that you are sadhus are in empathy with people. With the resurgence of Sanatana in the recent past, you being in the main field of spirituality, are you seeing a U-turn in the Indian plethora? Are you seeing change in the consciousness? Are people becoming more God conscious?
Right. We were a nation, or rather a unique case in the world history, where people have actually given up their own culture. There is no second example. We come from a culture, just like in other religions, without naming them, you find one book, Their religion. Here, nobody even has a count. It's like physics and chemistry. You cannot have one book, five. There are millions of books on. And physics and chemistry are just one part of God's energies. So, when physics, chemistry, mathematics can have millions and millions of what to talk of God. So, India had that. How many books? It's unbelievable. The Sanskrit language, it takes 12 years to master the grammar.
Okay.
So that kind of rich culture, how we gave up, it was pathetic. So everybody is perceiving that some faith is coming back in our own tradition and culture.
There's definitely a U-turn.
Yeah, definitely. It takes a while to turn the ship around, but definitely there is something, some reasons to be, to celebrate. People are actually, yes, this is our heritage, this is our culture.
Great. Swamiji, I want to ask you, maybe of 500, when Babri Masjid was built and real temple was demolished during the time of Babur, it would have been very hard for Hindus to see that their own magnificent temple was demolished. Their own deities were demolished. It would have shaken their faith in their own religion. What do we learn out of such incidences when they happen in life?
Before you try to learn from such incidents, you have to happen how these things came about.
Okay.
It's like your immunity goes down. Your inner core strength of your fighting strength of your body, that's called immunity. Then pathogens take place. Pathogens are available for you, me, everybody.
Superb.
But point is, when somebody has a strong immune system, that they can't play around.
Yeah.
So invaders are ready to take advantage, but depends how you became weak. There have been countries which were never colonized.
Okay.
They were strong. So how we became weak? You see, degradation come, I would say, when we ignore the text, the proverbial text or the text. You see, religious or any understanding is based on text. You see, to understand this, what I am saying, you have to go back to how the religions like Christianity and Islam, they survive today and grow today because they had textbook.
Yeah.
See, text, what happens is during that time, there were other religions, but you don't no more hear of them because they didn't have a textbook. They just had their preachers or messiahs, but with time they wound up.
Yes.
So what has happened is we neglected our text. Texts are the foundation.
Okay.
And same neglect is going on today. How many Hindus actually were claiming to be Hindus, no doubt, actually know ABCD of a Bhagavad Gita, know even one verse or the meaning of it.
Great.
So when you neglect the text, what happens? Your practices become weak. So then what happens? Your philosophical weakness. Life is everything is philosophy. Terrorism, it's a philosophy of life for them.
Yes.
So when your philosophy becomes weak, your determination, your resolution, what should I fight for? And then these nations go weak, become weak when they have philosophical deviation.
So can I say that out of what you spoke now, immune system becomes weak, the pathogens attack.
Yes.
So during the time of Babur, the immune system that you're talking about, the society, is faith in their own texts, faith in their own religion. When that has weakened, that's when the invasion happened. And we were very vulnerable because we did not had faith and we were not following our dharma properly. Maybe we were misled during that time.
I'll tell you exact chronology, how it happens.
Okay.
Once you mess up your philosophy, you neglect your text, then there is no standard of morality and ethics.
Yes.
Then what happens? Our rulers, the rulers become addicted, like what happened in Roman era. before Roman Empire collapsed, they were busy drinking and enjoying and looting all the money that has come.
Yes.
Moral fall down, that led to Roman Empire fall down.
Yes.
They were no more trying to, they lost because they were not. So you need righteous kings to take the helm, be the helm of affairs.
Okay.
So what happens was, when you have no inhibition left. When a person is God fearing takes, when okay, I'm not supposed to do this, then kings become addicted to all sorts of vices.
Okay.
Then what happens is, then they've once that our front is loosened, what happens is whole society degrades, because
Yes.
yatha raja tatha yadacharati sreshthas.
Yes.
When the kings are no more actually following the path of righteousness,
Dharma.
then what happens? Every society degrades, and degrades means it weakens.
Yes.
So then what happens is, then they become vulnerable. So one after another, this is a cycle. You see, moral strength is actually the biggest strength. It's not physical strength.
Yes. Agreed.
You can have a very thin person, but he is very mentally very strong, intellectually strong. He can defeat a much and war all the time.
Yes.
It's a psychology of the commanders, and
Yes.
that's what
The
matters
mental
in
strength
war.
that wins the war.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah. So very well said, Swamiji. So Indian society has to learn, first of all, why this has happened, and they should correct their basics. But now that the king is great, so the Modi ji has really fought well, and definitely the leadership of BJP has now finally got our dreams become true. And finally, tomorrow is such a big day. So Rama's Prana Pratishtha is happening inside the temple. Now a temple is back. The Saketa is completely lightened with lamps. We are welcoming Rama. What is that now Indians or Sanatanis should own and make them strong?
Lord Rama is getting installed in a temple.
Yes.
Which will supposed to last a millennium.
Yes.
Now is the time we have to install Rama within our heart and homes.
Super.
Because once you dethrone him from here, then the Rama gets dethroned there also.
Great. Superb.
So then what happens is, Rama, when he comes out of our hearts, then that he will be, you must have come across those statements. Okay, let these Hindus make a temple. But it's a question of demographics now. Down the line, we'll again break it.
Oh.
You must have come across.
Yeah.
There are some irresponsible and abominable statements have been issued like that.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, okay, today everything is in our favor.
Definitely, yes.
But we should take precautions so that the history doesn't repeat itself.
Superb. Well said.
So we have to.
So owning Lord Rama in our hearts. Now, how do we own that?
Right. Thank you for asking this question. That we have to build a temple inside as well.
Okay.
Within our homes also. Every town and village and every heart and home.
Okay.
Rama, God is all pervasive.
Yes.
God is also in his temple, naturally. Yes. So Lord is everywhere. Now we have time to build in our home. That comes from, you see, in order to do that, there are two, if you want to spiritualize society or an individual, there are two processes. One is called Panchratri ki Vidhi and one is called Bhagavata Vidhi.
Okay, what is that?
So Panchratri ki Vidhi relates to establishing temples, the deities, the rituals.
Okay.
That's Panchratri ki.
Okay.
And Bhagavata Vidhi is hearing and chanting, understanding the texts and learning the philosophy deeply and that is called Bhagavata Vidhi.
Okay.
So what had happened is there was emphasis on Pancharatra Vidhi, the
Hmm.
worship and everything.
Yes.
And when you neglect the Bhagavata Marga, Bhagavata Vidhi,
Hmm.
then this goes to hell. This is what is exactly happening.
Oh, okay.
This is what is happening is even now you see these huge temples. You
Yes.
go to I went to South India tour a few months back and the huge, massive temples, but
Yes.
some dogs are loitering. Nobody's there except one Archika.
Massive
Thousands
temples.
of such temples because the hearing is Bhagavata Marg is stopped.
Oh, yes, super. Hmm.
Bhagavata Marg is stopped. You see, every mosque practically has a madrasa attached to it.
Yes.
At least the major mosques.
Religious teachings.
You know?
Yeah.
Traditional churches, anywhere, a seminary or Sunday school is attached.
We have Sunday
to it.
masses. Yeah.
Traditionally, all our temples
Hmm.
had gurukulams, libraries attached to them,
Very nice.
and they were universities,
Yes.
and that's how the religion was kept alive.
Hmm.
So, if we want to stop such recurrence once for all,
Yes.
now that the Pancharatriki Vidhi is coming in picture, now we have to establish Bhagavata Vidhi.
Oh. So the deity installation tomorrow is a grand celebration.
Yes.
So now we should use this opportunity and we should learn
Hmm.
now to install a real Bhagavata Vidhi. So cultural, there is definitely a lot of resurgence of Sanatandharma, but resurgence of our ancient texts, cultures, Gurukula systems, practices, all of that should also follow.
So, establishing is one thing,
Hmm.
sustaining is a whole another thing.
Yes.
You want to sustain that mood, you will need to re-establish four texts.
Okay. What are those?
Gita,
Bhagavad Gita.
our Sanatana Dharma values are standing on 4 pillars.
Great.
There are innumerable texts.
Mhm.
Without getting into if these 4 are covered, that takes care of practically everything.
Yes.
And as Kali Yuga creatures,
Hmm.
I call them, we don't have much time
Okay.
in life.
Yes, definitely.
So, starting with Bhagavad Gita,
okay.
Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yes.
Ramayana,
Yes.
and Mahabharata.
Super.
Gita, Bhagavata, Ramayana and Mahabharata covers everything that is there in our Vedic text. Everything you need to know.
Hmm.
These 4 texts, I would say, now Ayodhya should have a world-class university called Bhagavad Dharma University.
Superb.
And they should develop, it should be a digital university, and they have to create 1,100,000.
Hmm.
100,000 trainers, 100,000 teachers have to be created of these 4 texts.
Yes.
And each teacher should own 5 to 6 villages.
Superb.
And entire 600,000 villages of India, this teaching should be available of Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata. And this light has to spread from Ayodhya.
Hmm.
Otherwise, Srila Prabhupada said, if there is no hearing, no
Yes.
Shravanam, no training of Shastra,
Hmm.
Krishna Katha, Ram Katha,
Yeah.
then these Vigrahas become Galagrahas.
Oh.
These Vigrahas become Galagrahas and the dogs start roaming.
Hmm.
That is, thousands of Indian temples have been taken over because there is nothing happening by the government. Each temple there should be hearing. Now India, the next phase, this is not the end of the world for us.
Yes.
This is rather we are starting a movement now.
Yeah.
This is a beginning, not the end for us.
Yeah. This is a beginning for an era.
Establishing of the Panchratri Vidhi now, of Panchratra Marg is established in India.
Yes.
Temples have to be revived, but now Bhagavata Marg. So
Yes.
Bhagavad Dharma University
Yes.
has to come, and the systematic training. And those 100,000 teachers
Mm.
will have to adopt each one few villages.
Mm.
And India has to, that will usher in the golden period, the Satya Yuga.
Super.
And that is Ramarajya. You cannot have Ramarajya without हम उनको मानते उनकी नहीं मानते ऐसा नहीं होगा.
Yes.
अगर हम if I like you or if I follow you, I have to follow what you say.
What you say, yes.
That
Very
is-
well said, Swamiji. You have a lot of inspiration. You know, you are missionary. So you said that yes, we are now installing Lord Rama. Now it's a time that we also understand what he has thought and start living that. For that, you are telling that like other religions have their teaching centers attached to their, places of worship. Like that, Ayodhya should become a first class university to spread Ramayana, character building. We all pray that, India should be established as Ramarajya. And Ramarajya will only be established when we follow his teachings. Such a, you are definitely a right philanthropist who wants to give Rama's teaching to the world. So, definitely, yes, you're doing your part of service. So, we would like to, this podcast, whatever you have told, maybe it reaches people and they really understand how they can install Lord Rama inside themselves. Now, this is one part. Now, how do youth, because I understand that, there is youth congregation, youth masses for Christians, and there's a lot of youth training. So, India is a country with extremely large number of youth here. So, how do youth of India see this, see the celebration as, see this grandeur as, and what is the takeaway for youth?
Yes, actually, India is lucky to have the world's largest population
Yes.
of younger
Youngsters.
youngsters.
Yes.
Rest of most countries now are grappling with the problem of aging population.
Yes.
So this energy, unless we channelize,
Mm.
and youth is the time to learn. You cannot teach new tricks to an old dog, as they
Yes.
say.
Yes.
You can a fresh bamboo, a new bamboo you can bend.
Mm.
But when bamboo grows or tree grows,
Mm.
sapling can be bent. When a tree grows, you try to bend, it will break.
Yes.
So this is the time, tender minds.
Mm.
Now, this light has to radiate from Ayodhya in order to really capitalize on this movement.
Yes.
Youth has to be addressed, and youth should be made to understand. That is why now enough is enough, that it has to be part of curriculum.
Okay.
Teachings of Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita and Bhagavata has to form part of curriculum.
Yes.
And it has to be, these are impressionable minds and they are exposed to the words, all the filth of the world in the form of internet.
Okay.
So it is the time we capitalize on these gains. You see, gaining in war, you make gains, but you have to preserve those gains. Otherwise, there are chances you get those gains can be lost again.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
So you have to capitalize. This is the golden chance, and India is meant to actually guide the world. That has been India is the land of eyesight.
Yes.
And the word is spiritual blind. Our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada used to say the analogy of blind and the lame.
Yes.
India is materially lame. Comparatively, we are less developed.
Yes.
But we have got the eyesight. So when a blind wanted to go somewhere, he carried the lame person because lame had the
Yes.
eyesight. So
Yes.
India has the eyesight. Rather, India has become victimized,
Yeah.
India is meant to guide the world. It's just like you walk in the scene in the airport, you see all the duty-free wines,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But you go to Swarnabhumi, Bangkok airport,
Yeah.
they spent $1 million more, I don't know, 10 million, whatever, on such a Samudra Manthan.
Yeah.
Bangkok,
Yes.
a Swarnabhumi airport. And here we have wines. We should be having those displays here.
Yeah, we should own our Indian culture.
You go to Indonesia, go to many, they are having all Sita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything. And we are So we are the ones picking up the filth there and giving a. Srila Prabhupada used to say, Apana dhan vilay diya, bhiksha mange parer dware.
Okay.
A billionaire, millionaire, he has squandered all his wealth now.
Yeah.
And he is begging from beggars now.
Yes.
This is our condition now.
I remember that in Bali and Indonesia, you have Garuda in the center of the streets.
National airline is called Garuda Airways.
Great, super.
Indonesian official airlines is called Garuda, and Garuda is their national symbol.
Superb.
You go up outside any embassy, you find Lord Garuda, Vishnu's carrier.
Yeah. In the name of secular, actually what happened is we tried to disown mostly Sanatana culture. So there is a definitely resurgence. But what you said is great. You know, Rama is supposed to be an ideal personality for Indian, you know, for Indians at least. That's the reason they dream of Rama Rajya. So I wish all the youth takes Rama as their role model and not so-called celebrities and actors and actresses as their role models. That is what I feel.
Yes.
We should own Rama. And definitely with all the examples of owning our culture of Samudramatana in Suvarnabhumi, Garuda in Bali, we should also start, you know, owning our scriptures, our cultures. It was really a pleasure talking to you, Swamiji. A beautiful talk with you. You have so much of vision. I wish one day we have Bhagavat University based
Bhagavad Dharma University out of Ayodhya. And priority has to be training 100,000 preachers or teachers, whatever you call. Okay. Every village has to resound with this message of Gita, Bhagavat, Ramayana and Mahabharata.
Super. That's the core of Indian culture and heritage. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for this. Hare Krishna.